Inferno Men, igniting a culture of evangelization that empowers men to lead in the battle for sainthood. Come join Levi, Devin, Josh, and John as we engage into the fire.
Welcome to the episode of Into the Fire. Inferno Men's podcast, where every day we battle for sainthood and we strive to live the Great Commission, bringing God's men and men to God. I am your host, Levi, and joining me, as always, we have Devin, Josh, and John. All right. InfernoMen.com is where you can find a wealth of information. Go there. It's super helpful. All right, so we're going to jump in right away then to point E5. I don't know how it is on your page, John.
That's fine.
But so this time I want to talk about, I had a light from the Holy Spirit that, well, let me back up. Is there, and I'm asking you guys, is there a place in the Bible where if you think about what does the Bible say about manhood, is there a place or a verse that you go to that jumps out? And I'll just be the first to answer. For me, no. There was nothing in the Bible, and maybe this is me betraying.
There are like particular characters and persona in the Bible that definitely stand out for manhood, but
Yes,
as about manhood,
but like a specific verse. That's I didn't think of one either, and this might be betraying my lack of knowledge. The what?
the verse from Ephesians, husbands love your wives as
Right.
Christ loved the church.
What about as iron sharpens iron?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Another one is no greater love has man than to lay down his life. That was the only one that I thought of.
And the main one I thought of course, is in Genesis, when God gives Adam all of the responsibility that he gave him. So, that kind of started it all off.
That was my first verse here.
By the way, that was the reading at Daily Math.
Genesis.
I read the readings and I don't remember that.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't read the readings.
Which year?
We're I think it's cycle. What are we on?
I'm sorry. Well, and it would be Joseph, the worker, was the feast day.
Oh, so you were the feast day readings.
Yeah.
Okay, I just read the regular.
That could be in the.
That might be why.
on it.
Anyway, so but the deeper I looked into it, the more I realized that there are actually verses outside of the Gospels, mostly New Testament, except for the Genesis one, that speak or can be understood in the light of kind of a Catholic man's understanding of what manhood is, in the light of Christianity, Christian faith, Catholic faith specifically. So I'm going to start with these last two because this is a special episode, and we might not get to this when we actually do this. So on mine, it's E5. On John's is different, but it's Proverbs, so I guess that's Old Testament. Proverbs 24, 5 through 6. A wise man... Oh, okay, yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself. A wise man is mightier than a strong man, and a man of knowledge than he who has strength. For by wise guidance you can wage your war, and in abundance of counselors there is victory. When I read that, end quote. When I read that verse, I thought of Inferno, especially the last part.
Wow.
For by wise guidance you can wage your war. I mean, what's the motto, right? Of battle into sainthood. And then in an abundance of counselors, friends, there is victory. Friendship is one of the pillars of Inferno. Right? So when I was reading that, I was like, this is where it's from. This is where, and it may be unbeknownst to whoever came up with the motto, this is where it was extracted. For wise guidance, you can wage your war, and an abundance of counselors. So you have to have friends, and you have to have wise friends, and then you can fight and you can win specifically. And that's men, right? That's.
But it's more this. The word counselors is more than friends.
Yeah.
It's more than just friendship. It is someone that you can rely on for advice because you don't have all the answers. And it's someone that can also call you out and say, hey, you need to not go about it this way. You need to not make this your trajectory. we need to look at it from this angle, from this perspective, especially if we're talking about a battle. Your counsels are going to be, we're going to head down this hill right into the valley and attack the enemy. Well, you're in a valley, sir. You have the higher ground on either side. Oh, that's a good point. No, so I mean, it's the idea that there are the counselor ideas that you have those others around you that will correct you, encourage you, and help you.
Like-minded enough to give you the advice that you need.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Be a lame friend.
you can just be a lame friend, but you can also give terrible advice. If you're trying to learn how to make your bed every day, you're going to go to your friend that's never made a bed. I was like, there's some quote or some phrase about that. Like, don't trust an unmade bed to tell you how to make yours or something like that. Right?
Don't go to get a marriage advice from the person who's been divorced 3 times. You know, I was like, that didn't quite work.
Physical trainer who weighs 300 pounds.
Well, see,
Well, that begs the question, though. Then it wouldn't be a true friend in the first place.
Yeah.
Right?
well, you bring this, makes me think, Devin, how you have to trust somebody, right? You have to build that up over time, right? And so if we're not, first of all, in friendships, then we can't get to that level where we can become a counselor and, the wise counsel that they're talking about. And so today, I think that's what Inferno offers, is it offers an opportunity to begin those friendships, to, continue those friendships and become that counselor. And so I think there's so many people out there now that are scared to put their thoughts into their friendship because we're always used to that saying, oh, you do you. It's okay. Yeah, you do you. I know you're going through a tough time. Yeah, good luck with that. And I think we need to, as men in our friendships right now, I'm thinking of a friendship I have where, maybe I need to say something to this guy that probably not going down the right path. I find that I know that I have 4 boys, so I find that I do that with my boys, but that's a little bit different relationship, right? I'm not their friend, I'm their father. I'm not going to coddle them. And I think too much in our society today, we have too many people that are coddling their good buddies instead of, hey, dude, you're screwing up.
But that's the whole social media idea, is that you post something on social media so that people don't critique you, but they go, oh, good job. Look at you. Good job. And they just, oh, yes, hi, I checked in at the donut shop today. Oh, have one for me. I mean,
Is that a real example?
then,
Could be.
I see some people like check it places, and I'm
it's like, why are you checking in? What's the purpose? We want people to go, yay.
Yeah.
What's the point of, I remember,
It's that
I don't know.
it's that looking for validation in all the wrong places.
Yes, looking for validation.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And maybe that's it. We validate instead of challenging.
That's really good. Well said.
And it goes too far sometimes, I think, too. Like people are just told to validate specific things just because. Like, who cares what anybody else is doing? Just let them do it.
Wasn't that the participation trophy
Drive
philosophy?
I think it goes even deeper, like into like modern society. Like, there's things that we all know that are wrong, but it's, oh, you do you, queen. You do whatever you want.
I do what I want.
Yeah, do what you want to do. You do you, like you said. Like, that's such a bad.
Bit of advice.
Like, I don't think a society can actually function that way at all, because then people just further and further into, like, I don't know.
Well, that's the Great Divorce, C.S. Lewis. That's what hell is.
Yes.
Just the eternally
Divide.
division of one person from another. Yeah, which is a really scary thought if you think about it. It's terrifying. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. The other thing I wanted to say too is that I was listening to a podcaster the other day, and he was making a comment about how a senator posted on Twitter X it was a really effing hard day.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
And his comment, the podcaster's comment was, "You're a man.
Yeah.
Who cares if you had a hard day?
Yeah. Exactly.
Have hard days.
Yes.
Yeah, because we have got them.
Should have them.
And we should have
Have
that.
the hard days.
Right.
Otherwise, we're not being forced.
There you go. That's it. That's
You use the word forged. I like that. If you're not having a hard day, you're not being forged.
Well, how does the forge work? Right. And yes. You just keep there's a the hammer. Exactly. It's you hit. I've seen. Was it Forged in Fire? That's a couple of those episodes where you build the strongest sword.
Like the blacksmith shop
And it's
at the ranch.
it's you're beating the metal to get rid of the impurities, to harden the metal, to cool the metal off, to beat it some more, to harden the impurities, to fold it over, to beat it some more. It's just And what comes out is this product that is hopefully extremely sharp, extremely strong, extremely hard. Yeah,
A lot of zip. Raw.
exactly. It's just
Gold is forged in fire, and the heart of the fire, fire of the gold.
Nice. No, that's good. There you go. Proverbs. Who would have thought?
right.
Let's jump over to the New Testament. 1 Timothy 6:11, or in mine, Eve 6.
We're good.
Okay. But as for you, man of God, shun all this. Aim at righteousness, godliness, faith, love, steadfastness, and gentleness. And then the famous fight. This is not Paul's, but fight the good fight of the faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called when you made the good confession in the presence of many witnesses. And just for context, before all this, Timothy is writing about basically all the bad things that these people are doing.
Is this a letter to Timothy?
Yes, it is the letter to First Timothy.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah, it's not
Nope,
Timothy.
I was wrong.
Yeah, it's St. Paul writing to Timothy.
Yes, you're right. You are correct. So he's saying, as for you, man of God, shun all these bad things, and then aim at this list of good things. And it, at least in my mind, it harkens back to I find myself not doing what I want to do and doing what I don't want to do, meaning that there is a thing to do and a thing to avoid.
St. Paul.
St. Paul. And he has the whole list here: righteousness, godliness, faith, love, steadfast. And that's just that's obviously not an exhaustive list. But when I read this, it reminded me of previous conversations we've had of consciously, actively doing something or striving for something, not letting things pass you by. And as men, we have that responsibility, either as a man of God, single or husband, father, to actually strive for these things, because the bad things are easy to do.
Yeah.
Right? And the good things are hard to do. And that's life. Right? And so that's kind of where I was thinking, the whole kind of idea was just that. I mean, you guys go ahead and comment, but just actively go looking for something good, and actively avoiding the evil, because it's both end.
Yeah, but I think we should try to. I mean, I'm curious. Like, we should try to break down that list. Like, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean to be righteous today as a man? Right? Like, I think we should go through the list. I've had my eye on gentleness. Like, that's probably a hard one to fathom in the modern day, because people have an idea of what being a man is. How are we gentle as men? Right? Like, does it mean we just lay over and let anything go by, or is there a limit to gentleness as well? But I'm curious on the words gentleness, steadfast, and righteous specifically.
To your point about gentleness, who are some of the people that we admire? And this may not be for everybody, but a guy that is physically strong, mentally strong, and all that, and he could be a badass if he needed to be, but at the same time, he has that gentle demeanor. And I do think of you, Devin, in that sense. You were a soldier for so many years, and here you're now focusing on gentleness, which is the complete opposite in many ways. But the stronger person is often the person that can keep himself calm and keep himself gentle until he needs to bring out the forces of capacity, and has that capacity.
Gained capacity, yeah.
Yeah. So it just really struck me when you specifically said that, because of your background and now what you're focusing on is gentleness. I think that's really cool.
Gentleness in what way? Well, when you define, in this instance, like gentleness, what is that? Gentleness, how?
The way I'm thinking of it is how he interacts with other people. Like, he's trained to interact as a soldier. He's, let's face it, that's your duty is to be able to protect and to defend. And here you are now thinking about gentleness and, and we're communer. And I think it's like the complete package. I mean, that's manliness. Dang. That's really cool.
Being able to utilize all of these in your life and not just one or the other.
Exactly.
Well, there's I don't know what the quote is, but it's something along the lines of beware the man who says nothing. In the sense of like you were saying, just like this external show of force and power and strength, and that somehow is supposed to be like, I'm above everybody physically, and so therefore I'm physically stronger than you. But when you're just meek, to use that term, but not letting things just kind of steamroll over you, but you're just quiet and you're observant, and you're the one who's most dangerous, because you're the one who's not giving away your position or your power, your authority. You're the one who's kind of looking at everything and scanning. I mean, I think of like Lord of the Rings. What's his name? Strider. Like, yeah, like in the corner. Yeah, he's in the corner. I mean, that's the BA, like you were talking about. That, like, John Wick. And actually, a side point. John Wick actually had more lines than Keanu Reeves said in the movie, because Keanu Reeves wanted to portray this guy who doesn't say a lot, he does a lot, right? And that's the guy who's like, oh, he's cool, the guy who does stuff, not the guy who says, and like, yeah. And so and like going back to Proverbs, a wise man is mightier than a strong man, and a man of knowledge is stronger than he who has strength. It's like this intellectual, internal strength that we need to hone and forge, like you said, which is in I guess in our life more important than physical strength.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can go with that, but one way to look at that is, being comfortable with yourself and who you are. And often those are the people that are the quiet, calm people, because they already know who they are. They don't have to prove anything to anybody. A lot of times in negotiations, I don't want to get it wrong, because they say something like, the first person who speaks has already lost the argument or something.
Yeah.
I think that's how it goes, as opposed to the opposite. But you find a lot of times the people that are talking the most tend to be the ones that don't know it much.
Oh, wow.
They're filling up their space. They're inadequate with themselves, so they feel like they have to fill it with words and, make sure you hear everything they're going to say, to distract from the fact that they don't necessarily know what they're doing.
Wow.
So I need to be quieter.
Well, to your point. I found that for myself. I've had to, I talk too much sometimes, so I've had to shut up.
I do as well, yeah.
Now, I mean, here we are on a panel. We're talking. Yeah, exactly. All we're doing is talking. But anyway, it's something to think about. Yeah, I have to be strengthfully sometimes in the silence.
What do you guys think steadfastness? What does it mean to be steadfast today?
Not to deviate from, I guess, your set goal in life, or not to be distracted, I suppose, by driven toward a meaningful goal, I think. So not driven towards something that is not going to be beneficial for your life, or your life as if you have a family, for your career. Otherwise, I'm not sure. I was trying to think of that as like, what does steadfast mean? Yeah. I'm assuming he's probably talking steadfast in faith. So you need to be steadfast in your faith. So not be wishy-washy, and, know what you believe. And when you're out in public, make the sign of the cross before you bless your meal. Whether you feel comfortable with it or not, just be steadfast. Don't be like, oh, I'm not going to do it now. People are going to look at me and they're going to ask me questions, and human respect.
Gonna ask me, yeah, no, yeah.
And it is. I think that's probably where he was going, but I think this is a different connotation with today.
Yeah, I think it's like I agree with everything you said. I think when I see steadfastness, I think it's just like to the task, like the task at hand, be driven toward that task.
Isn't that full send? Isn't that what they say nowadays?
Oh yeah.
Or send it? Yeah. Well, I was thinking it's along the lines, or synonymous with, perseverance and consistency. And then also looking at it in a different light, not being swayed by the world. We've got the concupiscence of the flesh, the world, and the devil, and we got those three things going against us. And I feel like steadfastness is almost like blinders, like a horse has blinders and they just focus and they don't get spooked by other stuff. It's like putting on holy blinders, and so we don't get distracted by these things. We're just focusing, what we need to focus on, whatever that may be, whatever your vocation is, or whatever you're doing in that moment.
Ultimately, get ourselves to heaven is going to be the ultimate goal.
Sure.
The steps before that.
Yeah.
That I'm make sure I'm still focusing on that. But when the blinders get moved, then I put blinders back and then keep heading in that direction. That's the thing. Also, not just like once I deviate from the path, then I just stay over there and I just go, oh, well, this is where we're gonna come back. Oh,
This will never get to heaven.
Path's right there, but it's too far away. Oh,
Toughest battles.
yeah. Just I wish I could get over there, but I just can't. Somebody carry me over there.
Why do I keep hearing Eeyore?
Girls are gonna make this.
exactly. No, that's because the steadfast, I think, also has that connotation to where if you do deviate, you are humble enough to go, well, I screwed up, and so I need to go back this lane. And you do the work to get back onto the path, to do the work to be.
Sure sounds like confession to me, though. Christ.
Wow.
Percent.
Infinite wisdom.
It requires like an insane amount of discipline as well to be steadfast.
Yep.
I think.
Well, David Goggins says discipline will outplay motivation any day of the week.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that.
It's So you can be motivated by anything, but if you don't have discipline, you won't do it. You won't stick with it.
Right.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's sticking to itness.
Stick to itness.
Like all those people I saw in Silvassa today. That parking lot was full of steadfast people.
Oh, there you go.
They were all doing
example.
work out, and I thought to myself, I should work out. I'd be here at 5 a.m. like all these people. I mean, no, that was, I tell you, I thought about, if you go in there, side note here, if you go into that place, that would be the worst place to like go and do some kind of terrorist act because all these really fit people would be there to beat you down. Pick your targets better,
That would be a rough place to go.
Like you're gonna get in trouble. So, anyway,
Well, to that point, it reminded me of our effect we have on people when we are steadfast. You saw people working out, and you were like, "Hey, maybe I should work out."
exactly.
Now, however long that idea lasts, that's a different story, right? Yeah, exactly. but the whole point is they're doing something, and we don't know who. Some meathead that woke up at 4:30 this morning to go to the gym did not think that he was gonna have any type of effect on
Me.
on you.
Yeah.
And if as long as we're staying focused, we don't know who God can touch in our life.
Yeah. That to your point, God takes care of the rest, right?
Right.
He doesn't ask us to succeed. He asks us to try.
Oh, and that is a good segue.
I like that.
Almost like it was planned, sir.
Wow.
It was. But anyway,
Hey, so we could obviously spend so much more time on the Bible, and we will in the future, speaking about how it refers to manhood. But let's move on to this question that has been burning my mind. That is, what is success, specifically for the Catholic man? And then also, how does that definition of success differ from society's, aka the culture's definition of success? Well, I'm not going to read it, but I would recommend that everybody watching and listening read it. But Ralph Waldo Emerson, the 19th century writer and philosopher and great thinker, he wrote the famous poem, What is Success?
Why didn't I read it? You should.
Then you should read it.
You have the voice. All right. What is success?
By Ralph Waldo Emerson. To laugh often and much. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. To earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends. To appreciate beauty. To find the best in others. To leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch,
or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. I think it's beautiful.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's a wonderful poem.
Well worth reading.
It's, yeah, I mean, just the first thing he writes is to laugh often and much. Like, what does that say about joy?
Oh, yeah.
You know, about happiness? You know, it's so, I mean, to win the respect, well, out of all of it, the line, I'll just deep dive here. The line that got me was to endure the betrayal of false friends.
I was thinking the same thing because of what we're talking about.
Right.
Actually, with the Proverbs, the verse from Proverbs.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know, it takes a real man to just get through that, to have been like, I had a friend, I thought he was a true friend, turns out he's a false friend, and he betrayed me. And who does that remind you of? Jesus. Right? I mean,
Yep.
it's, yeah, it just that whole line, to endure the betrayal of false friends, it's like, to endure it. That means it happened to you. That means you made a mistake, but yet you're getting through it. I don't know. That's the line that of all of them.
Well, and I like the first part of that, to earn the appreciation of honest critics. Okay, I don't watch a lot of different shows, but I did watch the first couple seasons of Ted Lasso.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, okay. He's the
I know about it, though, yeah.
footballer,
Yeah.
soccer player is a word, coach. And there was a critic from the local paper there that always got on his case. But towards the end of that episode for that series, he totally won his appreciation and his he still didn't like him, but he totally respected him. By the end of that. So, to be, I think the only way you earn that respect, right, is to stay, as we said earlier, steadfast, to stay true, to admit when you make the mistakes, and redirect, as you were saying, get back on the straight path.
To earn the respect of those who don't like you.
Each one of these lines is like a core tenet. I don't mean is to laugh often and much, joy, right? Happiness. Absolutely. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. Leadership, right? That's
Nice.
being a leader. To earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends. The first two things I think of are like forgiveness and humility as well. Right? Humility, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, loving and caring, right? Like that deep form of love, agape, for others. And then also like just loving the world that God has given us. And then to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. A few came to mind for that, like a way maker, a change maker, whatever you want to say. Being an example in this world, being an innovator, and mostly being a steward of God's world, right? Like good steward. Yeah, being a good steward, like leaving every situation that you're in, or every person that you meet a little happier, a little bit better it was when you found it. That is an awesome.
And then the last one.
Yeah, you might as well finish up.
Yeah, what was it?
That's the last phrase.
To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived.
Oh. To know even one
Well-
life has breathed easier because you have lived. Sacrifice.
All right, on the spot. Well done.
I think it's
So, but that's no, it's so true. It's so true. I remember when I was in high school, my English teacher said, if you want to leave a mark in the world, you have a kid, you plant a tree, and you write a book. So it's similar to that. Similar to that. The leave the world a bit better. And it's that's just such a, like, yeah, it's great. I don't know.
And the opposite is so opposite
Of what?
of succeeding, of what the world thinks, because that's part.
Oh, good point. Yeah. What does the world say is
The
successful?
world says what the world says about success. It's completely opposite. It's all focused on the self. It's a focus on what you do and what your accomplishments are. People praising or having people around you that aren't true friends but are false friends, but having 4 million of them. It's
the opposite. It's bad. You are doing nothing to promote the world in a way that it will be better than when you first got. Yes. Right. So you could have 40 million people following you, and you could be a person that's not pushing good morals, good values, not a good example to the young, and you would have made the world worse because now 40,000 people are a little bit worse if they adopt any of the ideology that you have.
But the world says, oh, you have 40,000 followers. And the YouTube world says, therefore, you are a success. Yeah. So that's,
What is that? A fame?
Yeah.
Power?
yeah. I don't know if it's even power more. It's just, when I was, because I lived before the internet and you had your 15, that's the idea of the 15 seconds of fame. Right, was that 15 seconds you got when you happened to run across a TV crew that was doing the news, and you could, do your little dance or whatever behind the camera, or what have you. That was your 15 seconds. Now, the 15 seconds is like, well, no, I need, 4,000 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah, 3 years of fame.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just that follower count's been rising for 15 years.
Yes, well, that's what it is. So it's that unfortunate. There used to be a joke that 15 seconds of fame is now it's extended and it's got longer and longer and bigger and more and greater. And to where it's like, I just need to be always on social media and always having people affirm me and always posting stuff and always checking in. It's just, it's a constant.
Promise me right now, we as a group will never check in as Inferno Men.
Hey, I'm at the ice cream store. Hey, I got the donut. Hey.
I'm at the donut shop.
Now, I will say,
You want me to be honest here? I don't even know how to check in.
Exactly.
Yeah, they look good. But yeah, that's that self-regulated idea of fame. I think it's crazy. There's a lot of false bravado in the world as well, where
Virtual courage.
yes, a virtual virtual courage and false virtue signaling as well.
Not filming themselves, giving $1 on those people who are like,
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, and it's a thin line to go from that to trolling, right? Because the virtual anonymity, and so many people. We talked about it on one of the other episodes. How rude people are online, but yet if you really had that person in front of you or on the phone, it wouldn't happen that way, right?
Right.
So,
Keyboard warrior.
you talked about success. When you wrote out what we were going to talk about, I had my definition of that was achieving a set goal. And I said, basically, if you have no goal, such as spiritual, financial, personal, intellectual, some of the things that are higher up in God's world of, take care of your family and so forth. If you set no goals, you won't have any measurement. Therefore, you don't know if you'd succeeded. But if you don't have any goals, then what fills that space is our current culture. You default to the culture that's there. And the culture today is, to your point, is about getting. All our goal, getting more likes, getting more subscribers, getting more money, getting more cars, wealth, whatever, it's getting more stuff. It's all about getting as opposed to giving or being or relationship or any of these other things. So if you don't, what this made me think of is I need to have measurable goals and I need to be working on those, because if I don't, then all the time is immediately filled with what's around me, and what's usually around me is culture.
And just
There's
distractions.
Without purpose, and you're never gonna feel fulfilled. And without fulfill, I don't think you can feel like you're really like giving ground on success or whatever we have internally as our idea of success without feeling fulfilled. And we won't be fulfilled unless we have a purpose that
Well, what is,
on that path.
and we'll end with this point, what is our purpose? The philosophical definition of good, if something is good, is if it fulfills its intended purpose. What is man's intended purpose? That's what we have to strive for, and then that's when we'll be able to block out all these different
To know
distractions
God, to love God,
to serve God.
yeah.
Right?
I mean,
And I'm not. Well, no. I'm not asking because I know like the scripted answer. I'm throwing out the question.
No, it's the scriptural answer.
I was waiting for it. He's like lobbed it. And you're just like, strengths.
But yeah, no. What is man's purpose? That's what we all have to find out. That's what we got to figure out. And then we'll be able to. One of the definitions of success, an event that accomplishes its intended purpose. I don't know what dictionary I got that from, but
I think I was trying to think of stuff on think about this like the way here, but is it Stephen Nightingale? I only found it lots of Nightingale. He's an author. I don't know the word.
Yeah.
I don't know where we wrote, but he had a quote. It was success is the progressive. I don't know what I wrote here.
I will work on my handwriting.
Oh,
Point goal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And I think of it like an ideal, in this sense, more of like a goal.
Could you read that again, please?
Yeah. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Yeah. Incremental success. Yeah, to get to the final goal.
Durable realization, right? Like you set the goals, checkpoints lead you there. Right?
I think worthy is a key word there too. It's got, like you said earlier, it's got to be something worth our time, worthwhile.
And what defines if something's worth our time or not?
God,
Yeah, God.
maybe.
Yeah, us as Christians, I mean, we have a clear outline of what's going to be worthy. But I think another like quick on the fly way to think of it is does it provide value? Does it provide real value?
There you go.
Is it true?
Yeah. Is it true?
Is it true?
Good, true, and beauty.
Beautiful, yeah. Good, true.
All right. Well, that's all the time we've got for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Devin, you're forge the fire or stoke the fire.
Oh, keep stoking the fire.
We'll get a little bit better. It'll be smoother.
We'll see you next time. God's bless. Sorry.